Welcome to The Newsworthy. All the day's news in less than 10 minutes. Fast, fair, fun, and on the go. Today, we're talking about the government shutdown deadline just days away now, and why there's a new call for a Facebook boycott. Plus, AI faces Google's $1 billion plan, and the worst password people are still using. Those stories and many more in less than 10 minutes. I'm Erica Mandy. Today is Tuesday, December 18th. You ready? Let's do this. We're just days away now from a possible government shutdown, and there's no clear compromise happening, at least not yet. President Trump wants $5 billion in funding for a border wall, but Democrats still say not gonna happen. So what now? Well, Fox News reports some are trying to convince the president that a short-term spending bill is a good option for now, and to push the fight for the border wall to next year. But it's not clear that will happen. And if Congress can't pass a spending bill by midnight on Friday, parts of the government will shut down, which means non-essential services will close, and hundreds of thousands of government employees might have to go without pay. So stay tuned. Two new reports confirm Russia used social media a lot to influence the 2016 presidential election and cause conflict in America. We're talking words, images, and videos on every major social media platform, and tailored to voters' interests to try and sway them. The Washington Post says the report found all signs point to Russia working to get President Trump elected. One found Republicans were encouraged to vote Trump, and Democrats were basically encouraged not to vote at all. The posts were made to look like they were coming from other Americans when they weren't. And the other report found an effort to target Black Americans, to encourage them not to vote or exploiting actual concerning instances just to stir up conflict. The NAACP says it's now returning a donation from Facebook, and it's calling on a week-long boycott of Facebook and Instagram starting today. The Federal Reserve kicks off a two-day meeting today, and by the end of it tomorrow, the Fed is expected to raise interest rates for a fourth time this year. Investors are pretty nervous. Already yesterday, major U.S. stock indexes fell to their lowest levels in more than a year. President Trump has always made it clear he's not happy the Fed is even thinking about another interest rate hike. More on that later this week. Also, in not-so-great financial news, student debt has set a new record, not the good kind. Bloomberg reports it doubled since the Great Recession. Well, the former CEO of CBS will not be getting the big payout he had hoped for. CBS board members say he won't get a dime of the $120 million severance package. They say he violated company policy and did not cooperate with investigations. Remember, ex-CEO Les Moonves was forced out in September because of sexual harassment and assault allegations. It prompted the company to hire two law firms to investigate. And this announcement this week is the end result. But CNN reports an attorney from the former CEO called the claims baseless and the board's decision, quote, without merit. Have you seen the human-looking faces artificial intelligence can now create? Some are calling it kind of scary. Pictures of what look like real people are actually not people at all. They were just AI generated. The Verge has a comparison to what AI was able to create just in 2014. The pictures aren't that great. They're grainy, black and white, and you can tell they're not real people. But now, just 4 years later, they look full-on human. And the questions of how this could impact society have now begun. Of course, I'm posting a link to the images so you can take a look for yourself. Just check out today's episode notes on thenewsworthy.com. Today's episode is brought to you by the daily tech news podcast, Techmeme Ride Home. It's a daily 20-minute tech news roundup that also informs you about the conversations happening in the industry, from what other news sources are saying about the headlines to what people are tweeting about them. And it's from Silicon Valley's most read news source, Techmeme.com, so you know you're getting the information from the experts. In fact, Mark Zuckerberg even told The New Yorker that it's the source for tech news he definitely follows. And because you're listening to this show, I know you love that you can listen to the information on the go and get everything you need quickly and in one place. So if you work in the tech world or are just interested in all the happenings that are impacting our lives more than I can give you here, then definitely check out Techmeme Ride Home. And it's actually made for your ride home. It comes out at 5 p.m. each weekday, and it gets you in the know on all things tech in minutes. So add Techmeme Ride Home to your daily playlist. You can find it and listen for free by searching Techmeme Ride Home in your favorite podcast app. Again, search Techmeme Ride Home. Now back to the news. Google is about to spend big bucks in New York City, as in $1 billion. Business Insider reports Google is building a new campus it'll call Google Hudson Square. It also means more jobs, at least another 7,000 employees in the city over the next decade, which, by the way, will double the number of people working there now. And Google is just the latest tech company to be expanding and investing. Remember, Amazon plans to have new offices in both Queens, New York and Arlington, Virginia. And Apple recently said it's expanding to Austin, Texas. There's a new list out for best places to live in the U.S. Money Magazine said it took its previous list, released every year, and broke it down further to find the best city in each state, all 50 of them. The criteria? Things like cost of living, housing, schools, and weather. So the winners were Dublin, California, and Highlands Ranch, Colorado. You can see the full list and the city called the best to live in for your state in today's show notes. So what about the year's worst passwords? Well, there's a list for that too. The rankings by Splash Data looked at 5 million passwords leaked online in 2018. Number 1 on the list for the 5th year in a row, 123456. Yeah. Number 2, password. Yes, people still apparently use password for their password. And this year, the president's first name, Donald, came in as number 23. Of course, experts advise against these common and simple codes to access your personal data. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. As always, if you want to read more about any of the news stories we talked about in this episode, just go to the homepage of thenewsworthy.com. From there, click episodes and look for today's date. The Newsworthy is ready for you to listen and be in the know every weekday by 4 in the morning. I'll be back with more news tomorrow. Have a great day.